We're going live. It's saying that on the screen on the live. I've got nobody watching me yet, so while nobody's watching me, I'll just talk to myself. No, what I'll do, I'll just introduce myself first. My name's Sean. I've been out in Spain now for nearly four years, coming up this Christmas. I live in the southeast of Spain, the Costa Calida, the Murcia region. I live on a big organisation called Campusel, just outside the town of Mavaron. We're about 10-15 minutes drive to the nearest beach. Today, oh, everybody's coming in now. Nice to see everybody. I'll take it you can hear me. Oh, hang on, let's move my mic a bit closer because I know it echoes in there a bit. Just turn me. This is my mic. Yeah. So it just gives you an idea whereabouts I'm from. Now, don't forget, guys, this is all to do with what I've gone through, my experiences in Spain. And what I've done through the week, I've brought out topics that I think are important, especially if you're moving to Spain and you're going to live there, or even for the newcomers. Steve, good afternoon, sir. Nice to see you. It gives you some idea, and obviously we can also discuss some of the things that it can get a little bit confusing when we're searching on the internet for information, because what I keep trying to put across is each province, town, even the system can be different. The system for what I'm talking about is you're getting your NIE, your Padron, your driving license, all those sort of things. There is a sequence, but for some reason they do deal with it slightly different, and it can be a bit of a pain, especially if you're going for residency. Anyway, today we're talking about, Carrie's just popped in as well. Nice to see you. That's all right, don't worry about it, because the main thing about this live thing is you can watch it later on, because I know everybody does work obviously during the week and it's not always easy, but I thought this is a good time of the day to try and do it. Happy Lux has just popped in. Right, so anyway, what I'll do first, get this bit out of the way, this piece of paper. Now, sometimes when the so I'm just reading your name, sir, but yeah, I'm all right, thank you. Now, sometimes once the comments start going, I can't always watch what's going on there. And so if you've got any questions, put them below the video on the comments, especially after the upload, because as from tomorrow for the next week, I'll be doing Q&A, questions and answers. But today, we're not really going to talk too much about odd questions. Obviously, healthcare is today's topic. It's a pretty important one, but just take a note of that. I'm going to put that away now. Mary's just popped in. I would say, is it sunny Ireland today? Probably not. Even here in Spain today, we had a bit of rain this morning when I went out exploring, but it's still warmish. Anyway, healthcare. Probably one of the most important things about coming to Spain. It's probably one of the things that's everybody's topic, especially with the Brexit as well. Because at the moment, if you're 65 and over of pension age, then you're entitled to be put onto the Spanish health system. And that's a thing that to do with the national health. Now, at the moment, the Spanish have done a royal degree, I think it's called, something like that. And they've guaranteed it until I think it's 2020, 21, 22, something like that. So whatever happens with the Brexit, obviously, if there's a no deal, then that might change slight things. And this is the thing at the moment. There's so many rumours going about. Water's just popped in. Yeah, take your time, water. Don't rush things. If you're not happy, that's fair enough. The thing is, I always found if you're looking at property, you know it if you love it. Anyway, getting back to the health thing. Yeah, this is probably one of the most important things, because if you're under 65, then you're going to have to take up private health insurance. Now, private health insurance is a bit of a nightmare, because I think the other problem is, depending on where you're going to be in Spain. Now, where we are in Campusol, in Murcia region, all we got, as far as I know, that we can use, because don't forget, guys, you've got to go to these places, There's no good point in being with some company and they're only stationed in Madrid. You got to find a private health insurance, or maybe a company that, I don't know, deals with it locally. Now, thankfully, down in Maveron town, we got a DKV place. Now, ASA as well is another one that is dealt in this area, and I'm not too sure about ASA, but we dealt with DKV. You got to read the small print. I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritties of these insurance policies. They, from what I'm right in thinking, they won't take on any previous problems that you've got. If you, I don't know, say you've got some sort of liver complaint, they will only take things that are happening now, and they do like a bronze, a silver, and a gold sort of thing. If you do the gold, then supposedly it's all covered. Now, I would like to debate that. Jeanette, nice to see you. I would like to debate that because when we had our DKV, we went through it again, and in the small print, on certain things, it did say on certain operations, they may charge you, and then you have to get your money back off them, which, you know, a bit concerning. Anyway, so yeah, when you come to Spain, especially if you're living here, if you're only coming over here for I don't know, if you say you buy a holiday home and you're going backwards and forwards, then your EHIC card, which is your did I write that down? This is your national health insurance card that you get when you go traveling. That covers you for, so I think it's 30 days or 60 days, whatever. Now, a lot of people here, believe it or not, I've been using that card for a couple of years. I don't know how they do it, but apparently they do. Yeah, that's it. Hit the thumbers. Yeah, it's the, let's get this right, because some people might think, what's the one about EHIC card, which is the EHIC. It's a European health insurance card. I haven't got the wallet on me, but it's like a little blue and white card that you get. So you can go into E&A, and if you obviously if you've had a sudden heart attack, then they will deal with that. And then obviously then you've got to have your own insurance to get you back to the UK and whatever. But if you're just coming over for a couple of weeks, or you're just staying in a holiday home, then I would presume that the EHIC card is adequate enough. Now, obviously, another thing, after the Brexit, if it ever happens, will that still be on? I don't know. But at the moment, we're just going to go, everything's the same at the moment. The other thing is, when you first come in, if you're going to live here, then you've got, I think it's 60 to 90 days, something like that. Now, that does seem to dispute wherever you are in Spain. So you need to become a resident. And to become a resident, you obviously first you need your NIE, you need your Padron, you need to prove your income while you're staying there. Now, that also differs from each region for some reason. And also, you've got to say you got healthcare cover. And what usually happens is it's no point in just saying, oh, okay, you take out private health insurance for a month. They won't have that. You've got to have a whole year's health insurance. So you've got to virtually pay up front for your health insurance to become a resident. Now, the thing, well, I don't think people know about, now this may differ from region to region in Spain, but once you've been a resident for a year, you can go and pay into the Spanish health system. It's called an autónomo. Now, hopefully there'll be a couple of other people to verify that. And you can pay into that. And if you're under 65, that will cost you, let's read it down here, it's 60 euros each. So don't forget, even if you're married, you still got to pay for your own health insurance. And if you're over 65, it's going to cost you 157. Now, the reason I mention this as well, obviously with the Brexit thing, if for some reason there is no deal and they don't honour the people that are living in the UK, things could get a bit iffy. At least then you know that you can get onto the health system. The health system here, I would say, a lot of people say it's fantastic and you know it's better, but also a lot of other people will say that it ain't much difference especially if you're going for a hip operation, things like that. Now, some people around here will say, no, I went down to see the doctors here, and then next week they shipped me off. Now, other places will probably say, oh, I've been waiting a couple of years for it. So to me, I don't think it's much different. And from what I've been seeing going on here, if you can afford private health insurance, and the Spanish do it as well, they do take out private health insurance as well. And it's always worth looking around. Like I said at the beginning, with the private health insurance, they do this banding, like a bronze, silver, and gold. I'm not too sure about the other ones. All I know, that's what DKV did. I believe it's a German company. I will say a little bit more about them later on. but obviously, if you're going to be living there at the beginning, you've got to prove to the Spanish, if you want to get your residency, that you can afford to pay for things. Now, I know before the Brexit thing kicked off, there were a lot of people staying here. And down the road where we live on campus, we've got our own Spanish health centre here, medical health centre here as well, which is really good, really useful. But also we've got it's called a business centre. And in the business centre upstairs, they've got private doctors, private dentists. You pay like a monthly fee. Now the only problem there is it's all right. You can go and see your doctor. He'll prescribe you whatever medicine you need, and then you go downstairs. We've got a pharmacy there. And now the pharmacy is fantastic, especially here in Spain. I'm not just talking about our pharmacy, but anywhere in Spain, you can get a lot of things in the pharmacy that you wouldn't get over in the counter in the UK. In other words, you don't have to go and see the doctor. You can just go into the pharmacy, say you've got some eye infection and that, and you can get the antibiotics for it. Now, I'm not going to mention, what's the other thing? Just as I mentioned that, no, it's all right. I'm just going to read anything I missed. Do you have to pay excess on your? Do you have to pay an excess on your health insurance? Says Kerry. Don't know. Can't remember that. I don't remember paying an excess. What do you mean by that? Come on. Put it this way. Me and the wife, when we first came over, we paid back in a couple of years back. So we're talking 2016. We was paying for both of us was just over €200 a month. That's every month, and then end of the year we had to renew. It only lasts for a year. We had to renew it. It went up. I don't know. This is what makes me laugh. You have to go down. I had to go down to DKV and virtually rebargain my health insurance. It went up like €20, so it's €220. So I mean, that's the other thing. It's never going to go down. It's going to go up, and obviously the older you get, and I don't know about. Obviously, if you got issues while you're on the health insurance, then that's all right. But if you had previous problems and then it comes up, then maybe you'd have to pay. Maybe that's what you're on about, Carrie. Yeah, you may have to pay on for that. Now, the only thing I did like about DKV, and this is where I think you suddenly realise that the national health is a fantastic system. When you're living in the UK, we all moan about it, but when you're out here, you suddenly realise what a fantastic system is. You can just go down to the doctors and not worry about it. But here, it's a little bit different because you go to the doctors, and then they might say, okay, we need to send you to Cartagena, which is our main hospital, which is about an hour's drive away for a blood test. Now, if you don't speak much Spanish, because they won't speak much English there, and the doctors won't speak English to you, then you need a translator. Now, I was just chatting to my wife before coming down about a translator. I think she charges about €25 a session. So you got to remember that that's another other cost. Now, with the private health insurance, that's all included. But we never actually done that because my wife had to go for an eye appointment, and they sent her to another private unit down in Cartagena. And when we got there, they hadn't booked it in. So I can't say was only extras on that, but they did all speak English, so we didn't have a problem with that. But just remember that if you're using the Spanish health system, then you're going to need a translator. But if you're using a private health insurance, then officially that should be all included in the price. But no doubt somebody might tell me different. Now the other thing is the ambulance. The ambulance is private, so if you're say, look, our business centre does the private healthcare thing, you can pay a monthly fee, but any extras you have to pay for. So you would have to pay, say, pay for the ambulance to take it down to the local hospital. So the private insurance, in one sense, is a big saving. And when you first get here, when you go with any private health insurance, they give you a full MOT, the complete works. And what's good about it as well, I can't say from all of them because I've only dealt with one of them, but once they've done all the tests on you, they put all the information on a disc. You keep that disc and you carry that disc with you every time you go and visit a doctor, which is a good idea because not all the times you get to see the same doctor. You will probably see different doctors. I'm not confusing anybody, am I? Because I suppose I'm going in and out of private and the Spanish health system. Well done, Ailey. We're not talking about swimming pools today, but we are talking about healthcare. Nice to see everybody popped in. Yeah, right. I'm just gonna. What I've been doing over the week, for some of you that obviously been working and not really understood what I'm getting up to with these topics, is that what I've been doing is taking information off the web. We have a chat about it, and I say, well, some of that might be slightly different. So all Spanish have access to the country's health care system called the Spanish National Health System, which is the SNS. Foreigners also have the right to access SNS services if they're working in Spain or they're over retirement age. So I'll explain that, which is correct. So if you're over the retirement age or you're getting your state pension, then you're entitled to the Spanish health system, because obviously they've got an agreement with the UK and it's paid that way. Now, like I said before, with the Brexit, we just don't know what's going to happen there. But at the moment, the Spanish have agreed, they've done a royal degree, whatever you want to call it. And I think you're covered up into 2022. Now, that's obviously making sure that Spanish citizens in the UK are treated the same. Right, EU residents are entitled to free healthcare while in Spain for the first 3 months of their stay, so long as they provide their EHIC card, which is that little blue and white card that you get. It's a European health insurance card. Now, make sure, guys, I've still got mine, because you can still keep renewing that, because the only other reason I keep mine is because obviously I have to go back to the UK sometimes. So that just covers me that way. So even though you might have left Spain, hang on, yeah. Can I talk about healthcare coming from the US? Well, not really, right? Because I don't. You're outside the EU, and I wouldn't know if that would be the same. But saying that, if you taking out private health insurance, it shouldn't make any difference. So it would be the same all over, wherever you're coming from. If you're paying into the private health insurance, it'd be the same. But obviously, if you're from outside the EU and you're at retirement age, then you will not be entitled to the Spanish health system. You would have to pay into it. Now, it's just something I mentioned at the beginning. Once you become a resident, after a year, you're entitled to this. Now, I don't know if this is for all areas of Spain. This is another thing I've been trying to put across. Even though Spain's a vast country, for some reason, in some of the regions, they do deal things differently. But here down in Murcia, after a year, you can get an autonomous, as you call it, yeah, and you can pay into the health system, the Spanish health system, but you have to be a resident for a year first. And that is, if you're under 65, for each of you, it's 60 euros each. And if you're over 65, it's 157 euros each, and that's paying into the Spanish health system. But like I just said, you've got to be a resident first, and you have to wait a year to apply for this. Now, it does say here, each region may differ. Basically, monthly fees with pre-existing conditions, 60 euros each, under 65, and 157 each, over 65. Most people aged over 65 will be in receipt of a state pension. Now, that's obviously people that's in the EU. Anybody outside the EU will not be entitled to that. So yeah, you're gonna have to keep paying whatever. So that's unfortunate. Unless you come to Spain, I think if you pay 500,000 euros or something, you automatically become a resident, official resident. But you've got that investment. It's got to be staying in the bank account. So it's not like you coming over buying a property. That's got to stay in the Spanish bank account. Now, hopefully somebody else will pick me up on that one. Free prescriptions are only free if you're over 65 or those who pay into the Spanish social security system. So if you've got a job here, then I suppose that's, as far as they're saying, you're entitled to free prescriptions. I don't know about that one, because as far as I know, me and my wife have always gone down to the pharmacy and paid whatever's over the till. Some of it's cheap, some of it's not. It's hit and miss what prescriptions you would have. I wouldn't know what sort of illnesses are covered because we're not on it yet, so I can't really tell you what that's like. I'll be honest, I've been down to the Maveron doctors down there, which is the state place. I've had a couple of checkups. It's it's for your bowel cancer thing. Very efficient. Obviously, we had to take a translator with us to get it sorted. Yeah, it's a bit of a mishmash, I'll be honest. Anyway, let's have a quick look here. Sean, is this per year or month? Right, I'm talking about the 60 euros. Yeah, that's 60 euros a month. Hang on, let's just clarify that. Yeah, 60 euros a month each, obviously. So that's 120 if you're married. I mean, whatever, the health thing is always going to be expensive, and I know this is going to be a bit of a pain for a lot of people already living here in Spain, especially with this Brexit thing. If things go all upside down, they might end up losing their NHS treatment in Spain. But I can't say that, because I can't really say will it ever happen. It could be just ongoing. It's been dragging it out, and I've heard so many rumors here in Spain, and obviously on some of the forums about that there's a mass exodus going back to the UK, and the UK couldn't cope with us all coming back. Well, from what I've been chatting to people here locally, a lot of them, we're not going back. Well, we want to go back. And to be quite honest, you just can't believe all these rumors, really. As far as I'm concerned, my folks come to Spain back in the 70s. Oh, there was a notice coming here. Yeah, I've done all that. Well done, my love. It's my secret messenger coming there. They come in back in the 60s. Okay. Oh, hands come back again. And nothing really was different then. Obviously they were below 65. They had to pay into a private health insurance. They had to have a visa, which they had to do every 6 months. They had to go up to the French border. And then over the years, it went onto the internet. And then obviously by then we joined the common market then, as it was called. Now it's called the EU. Right, let's have a quick read here. Why do old farts pay so much more? Probably because they're going to come down with more problems. As the older you get, bits start coming off. So, yeah, So the older you get, the more money you got to pay, and no doubt that will change over the years. And somebody mentioned the other day, I haven't seen him come on yet. He said about private home care. Now we're on about if you go down with lose your marbles, things like that. Now that's obviously not covered by the health system, because the other thing here, which is different in Spain has a different way of dealing with things. If you're ill, they expect your family to come in and look after you. And what I'm on about is them feeding you. Oh, hang on, I've got another message now. Yeah, I'll mention that as well, lovey. But well done. But yeah, so when you're ill and you go into hospital, they expect your family to come in, and when it's time for meals, for them to look after you and feed you and clothe you and clean you. They don't expect the nurses to go and look after you. But obviously, if you've got nobody, they're not going to leave you there dying there. But they will then look after you. But they do expect families, and I'm right in thinking, from what I know, especially down in Cartagena, you can actually sleep in over there. So if you're really bad, they can stay down there. I don't know what the cost is for that. Maybe it should be free, but I can't say about that. So it's a bit more family orientated here. So yeah, so just bear that in mind as well, especially if it's just two of you. And this is what I'm on about. If only one of you can drive, it's here in Spain, because it's such a big country. I mean, for us to get to Cartagena, which is the main hospital, it's an hour's drive away. Now, there's not like a train. You can probably catch a coach, but the coach will probably take you to one place and then another. So yeah, some things you've got to think about, especially wherever you're going to go in Spain. Like I said before, we was living out in the country, looking at a lovely mountain, and probably the nearest hospital was probably about 50 miles away. But we all go ill, don't we? All right, let's have a quick look on there, just because I'm missing. Anyway, guys, I've got long left now. If you've got any more questions, please put them below the video. Now, as from tomorrow, I'll be doing a Q&A for the next week, and I've already got a couple of pages, and no doubt Haley's got a load of questions, which I love. Let's have a quick, just confirm that you should. No, so like Jeff just said about if you put it's nothing. You got to keep that money in their account. Not if you're buying a property, you got to keep it in their account. Yeah. It's what they class as an investment, but not in the property. Do you know how much prescriptions are? Do you pay per item? Here in Spain, all I know is when you go over the counter, you just pay for what they're worth. So if they're only worth a couple of euros, you only pay a couple of euros. There's not a set fee. I can't say if I was a pensioner or something. I mean, they'll be free anyway. So I don't. As far as I know, you just pay for what they're worth. Now, some of them can be a little bit expensive and some are really cheap. So it swings and roundabouts on that. All right. Oh, no. That's what I mean. What I like about here in Spain is if you've got an eye infection or something like that, you can go into your local pharmacy and they can deal with it straight away. Usually in the UK, you have to go and see a doctor first, where they can, if it's some powerful drug or something like that. Here in Spain, they don't seem to deal with that. I've had my kids when they had during measles. I took them straight into the pharmacy, and they dealt with it straight away. Right, Milton Keynes, 10% of what? Does it 10%? Okay, don't know what that's about. Have I missed something there, Jeff? Do all children need private health insurance cover or after? Good question, that one, Steve. Now, as far as I know, they would all have to be. Well, I'd imagine if you're the kids have probably got like an age limit, and if they're over a certain age, maybe if they're over 12, then they would have to pay like an adult fee. And I can't say for that because I didn't, you know, we didn't look for that. But I would imagine if you, there's probably a 30 youngsters or something like that, then they would probably come under, like it would normally do in the UK, that they would be covered. But good question. I can't really answer that one because I ain't got kids here. But that will come up once you search for your private health insurance. That will come up. Anyway, guys, that's my slot gone now. My half-hour slot up. Hope you enjoyed it. I know it's quick, but these things do go quick. Anyway, tomorrow for the rest of the week it's going to be Q&A. Got a load of questions already. But if you've got any more questions, put them down below. Thank you, Max. I'm going to watch a Game of Thrones now. Anyway, adios amigos.